If you are like many of my relocation clients and you're wondering what should you know before moving to Tampa or even Florida, in this video we're going to be talking about just that. I've got a couple of ideas for you, so I hope you'll stick around. Let's get to it. Hey everybody, I'm Emily. I'm a licensed real estate agent here in the state of Florida, and I live and work in the Tampa St. Pete area. And this channel is dedicated to how we live, work, and play in the Tampa St. Pete area and Florida in general. So if that resonates with you, please don't hesitate to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. That way you can be notified when I drop new videos. Also, feel free to leave me a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. And if you have any real estate related questions, I can't help you if you don't reach out to me. So don't hesitate to send me a text or an email and we can discuss more privately what's going on with your real estate needs. But you can also get on my calendar for 30 minutes. There's a link below as well. And then we can really discuss what's going on and what some of your real estate goals are. I'd really love to help you. So today we're going to be discussing what are some things you should know before moving to Florida. How do you prepare? And so I've had this question come up a couple of times with some of my relocation clients, and it's really hard to explain to people Florida as a whole and then Tampa specifically when you're looking to relocate, and it can be really daunting and it can be really scary to spend a lot of money on a really nice house in a neighborhood you hate. And sometimes it takes a little while to understand which neighborhoods are going to work for you. So there's a couple things that I always suggest to my relocation client before they even think about putting in an offer. And so here we go. Now the first suggestion I have is going to be pretty obvious, but I have to tell people a lot. You got to come visit, and you can't just visit once. You need to take the time to come down to Tampa, if it's Tampa, St. Pete, or even the surrounding areas, wherever you're looking. And I also suggest looking outside of Tampa. We have some really great cities just in the perimeter of Hillsborough County. You need to check out that as well, and Pasco and Pinellas County. But you need to come visit. You need to take some time off, whether it's a Thursday to a Sunday or what works for your work schedule, but you're going to be making a very large purchase and you need to know exactly what you're getting into. So that is something that I suggest. Come down, come once, come twice. What I tend to do is narrow this down with my clients using the MLS. So we might narrow down some houses that they like, that have all of the things, all the bells and whistles that they're looking for. Whether it be a 3-car garage and a pool in a good school district, if that's what you're looking for, then we break it out from there. What neighborhoods have those kinds of houses that you like, the style that you like within your budget? So then we work on your budget. What is your budget? And then from there, then it's my job to help you look where on the map I think you should go. And it's usually you start to be able to narrow that down pretty quickly. So I suggest making a list of about 3 to 5 neighborhoods that you like. And you might say that seems like a lot, but trust me, you're gonna drive it once and then you're gonna wanna go back and look at it again. And so once you've narrowed down about 3 to 5 areas that are of interest to you, and there may be some houses that you can go see while you're in town, I highly suggest that. Open houses, go to open houses, go take a look at some houses. But you need to be prepared with a pre-qualification letter, as well as proof of funds if you're gonna be paying cash. You need to be discussing with your agent or with me, what is the plan? What's the game plan if we find something that you love right out of the gate? So you need to have that plan in place so that you're not, oh my gosh, this house is beautiful. It's only been on the market 2 days. Emily, what do I do? We put in an offer super fast, because in today's market, we are getting anywhere from 20 to 40 offers on a home in 2 to 3 days. And most of them are going way above asking and they want cash. So there are some strategies that I can discuss with you to help you be more competitive in this market. But once you have a couple of houses that piqued your interest and some neighborhoods that you want to go check out, then I send you out in your car and you go running around and you drive the neighborhood. You drive the neighborhood extensively. What's behind the houses? Is there marshland? Is there a nature preserve? Are there wires? Are there telephone lines? What are those things? Do those things bother you? Do you like them? Do you not like them? These are the things you need to be thinking about as you're driving around. Then I suggest go shopping. Where is the local strip mall? Where is the local big box mall that you're looking for? It's a Best Buy, a Target, that sort of thing, if that's important to you. So you have to decide the things that are really important to you in that neighborhood aspect. And then from there, I always say, go to dinner. Don't just go to, the Panera Bread. I would look up on Yelp and I would find the highest rated restaurant in those little neighborhoods and I'd go to dinner. Even if you just sit at the bar, you're gonna get a lot of information. The locals here love to talk and they will tell you all you need to know about the neighborhood, everything. So just sitting at a bar, take your pen and paper. Those people are gonna be instrumental in helping you decide whether you're gonna vibe with this neighborhood. You have to keep that in mind. Not every neighborhood is for everybody. So your locals are gonna be the ones that are gonna help you the most. Also, don't forget your daily activities. Not only shopping, grocery shopping, I highly recommend as well going and checking out the grocery stores and making sure that they're close by or not too far. The types of grocery stores you like. Nowadays, we've got everything from Publix to Sprouts to Whole Foods to Fresh Market. So you have a lot of options, but are those options near where you wanna live? Is there a lot of traffic on the main road getting into that neighborhood? These are things you need to think about. Does that bother you? Maybe it doesn't bother you. I also suggest deciding what kind of outdoor activities or socializing, or do the kids have sports that they're into? Checking those things out in the neighborhood as well. I had a client ask me about a volleyball club and I was like, that's a really good question. I need to go check that out for her. Because I always thought, well, doesn't school offer volleyball? Who knows? But she wanted to make sure that her daughter had the opportunity to be a part of volleyball, whether it was in school or in something else, like an outdoor activity. My biggest thing that I suggest to my clients when they're looking to relocate is to drive around. Don't be afraid to go take your map on your phone and start, mapping out some areas, driving around. Because each area, especially in the Tampa area, it's so diverse. You can be on one side and it be artsy, on the other side and it can be land, and one side it can have ocean, the other side it can have power lines. You don't know until you drive around. So once you've narrowed down that area of interest in different neighborhoods, and again, I highly recommend not necessarily focusing on the popular neighborhoods that everybody tells you to move to, because those are going to be the most competitive houses to try to get. But there's some amazing neighborhoods all throughout Tampa. You just have to know how to look. So that's where I come in, where I help you understand what you're getting into. If you're going to go to Lutz, that's one kind of vibe. If you go down to South Tampa, that's a different kind of vibe. And then we talk about the competitiveness of the market as well. So these are things that you really have to consider. So I try to tell people, do not fall in love with just one neighborhood. I have a client right now, totally fallen in love with one neighborhood, and she's getting priced out of that neighborhood, but she is bound and determined to be in that neighborhood. So she's gonna wait, and that's her choice. And I'm gonna keep showing her houses. I'm sending her, listings and letting her know what's going on in that market to keep her educated. But really, I think the best bet for most people that are relocating here that don't really have a lay of the land yet, you've got to have a good agent helping you to narrow down the best areas for you based on your criteria. So just keep that in mind. Don't be afraid to drive. Just stay off of 275. I got a little fun fact for you. It doesn't have much to do with the housing market. It just has to do with personality more than anything. I thought about this today. I was thinking, because I'm going to Chicago with my boyfriend for his birthday next week. And, I was like, oh, I'm going to a city. I need to dress like I'm going to the city. And it's going to be a little cool. And I'm really excited about that. And I was pulling things out of my closet thinking, I have not touched 3/4 of the clothes in my closet in about 2 years. Now, our current, world situation has something to do with that, but also it's Tampa and Florida in general. We are a very casual state. you are going to be living in t-shirts and shorts. Why? Because if you're outside for any length of time, you're going to be sweating a lot. So flip-flop, shorts, t-shirt, that is our uniform here. Now, when it comes to work, obviously, if your job requires you to have a suit or, take it up a notch, great. But I'm gonna tell you, most companies nowadays, especially here, they're not really requiring you to dress so formally. It's only certain parts of town, I would say South Tampa, where people are just a tad more formal. And then as you go out a little bit, you go a little north in the Lutz, Land O'Lake area, it's extremely casual. So if that appeals to you, I mean, that did to me. I was done wearing a suit all the time. And actually, funny enough, if you hire me, I usually not in t-shirt, shorts, and flip-flops, I promise. But then I have clients that are like, oh, you're so formal, please do not dress like this. We are casual. I'm like, thank you. Next time you're gonna see me in t-shirt, shorts, and flip-flops, just like you. But I have also seen at open houses some other agents coming in quite casual. So it is sort of the norm and you get used to it and we're fine with it. It's just too hard to force people into restrictive clothing when it feels like it's 110 outside and the humidity level is double that. So just a little fun fact for you. Also, some things you want to consider, especially if you are looking for waterfront property, is what is your flood zone? And you can find that link on the FEMA map, and I'll link something below. But flood insurance can run anywhere from $500 to $3,500. It just depends on the area that you're in. So keep that in mind. There are definitely some canal communities like where I live. And then there are bay views, and then there's intercoastal views, and then there's Gulf views. So you have a wide variety of waterfront options if that's your thing as well. Also, do they come with a dock? Do they come with a boat slip? All of that might be part of your HOAs, something to consider as well. And then if you have a single family home that has any type of waterfront property, you always want to take a look at the seawall. Because again, Tampa is becoming a little bit more up and coming and regentrifying itself and sprucing it up, I guess is the best way to say it. So some of these seawalls have been around a long time. So that's usually the first place I go when I'm taking clients and they go, oh, we're looking for waterfront property, let's go to the seawall. Do not fall in love with this house until we take a look at the seawall. And obviously you can't necessarily gauge a lot just from viewing it. You can get it inspected as well. A lot of homeowners that are selling will spend a lot of money revamping their seawall to sell it, because it can be quite an expenditure, and if your inspection report comes back and there's a crack or anything, that could end a deal. So seawalls, keep that in mind. So to recap a little bit, let's just talk about, again, some of the things that you need to maybe write down, make yourself a little list before coming here to maximize your time while you're visiting. Again, try not to just come once and make a decision. Try to come during, a slow weekend, maybe come when it's raining. I know that's hard to predict, but just mix it up a little bit. That way you can get a vibe. Make sure that you have worked with your agent or me to narrow down some neighborhoods. Make sure once you've narrowed down those neighborhoods, you get more information on the HOAs and if they have CDDs. Are they in a flood zone? Get a flood map. Also, you want to think about the traffic. Are you commuting? Are you going to be a remote worker? What is your day-to-day life going to be? Are you going to be living in a car? You don't want to live in Lutz if you work in South Tampa. That's going to be a horrible drive. I work with a lot of clients helping them understand how to navigate the roads and commuting. And we have a lot of traffic here. A lot of people are moving here. We have a lot of accidents. We have a lot of terrible drivers here. So you want to make sure that your insurance is pretty good too. So again, making sure that those things that are important to you get on that list. Kids. Do you have kids? Are you looking at activities for kids? Do you have little kids? Are you looking to be closer to parks? There are some parks that are better than others. So making sure that you really know what's important to you. Grocery shopping, normal shopping, Targets and Marshalls and that sort of thing. Is that your jam? The mall. Is there a mall nearby? Do you need to be near a mall? Socializing. Are you a social butterfly? Do you want to know about all of the events and all the festivals and things going on? This weekend we have Gasparilla Music Festival. We have it every year. We skipped it because of last year because of COVID, but this year we're so excited to have it back. And there's always something fun like that going on. There's always a seafood festival. There's always a hamburger festival. There's always a beer festival. There's always music. So if that is something that interests you, it might be a good idea for you to go to one of the local websites like Things to Do in Tampa or 818, and they can tell you as well what's going on in the community. But also, don't forget Facebook. I'm sure you use Facebook in your own community. Don't forget to start plugging in the search bar some things about Tampa and see what's going on. Maybe you plan your trip around a festival or something like that so you can hobnob with some of the locals and make some friends. That's one thing I love about Tampa. I have a friend of mine that is relocating from Colorado. I've mentioned him in some other videos. He is now on his way to living in Delray Beach to start with, and he did exactly what I told him. He went to the local bars. He went to the local restaurants. He started talking to people. He made friends instantly. And the first thing he said was, "Everybody here is so friendly," because we've got that vitamin D, man. We've got that beach. So these are good things to consider if those are important to you. But if you're looking to be super social, Tampa's your town. Don't forget to make your list of things that you need to make sure that your kiddos are happy. Do they like riding their bikes? Do they like hiking, swimming, soccer? The great thing about living in Tampa is that the kids have a lot of outdoor activities to do year round. It rarely gets cold enough for a game to get canceled. The only time things get canceled around here is when there's a hurricane, and thank you, Lord, that there hasn't been anything major in a long time, and let's hope we keep it that way. But when there's a big storm, everything shuts down. That's really the only thing you have to worry about. Other than that, we really have some of the best lifestyle type of environment here in Tampa, doing all the things you love to do. That was the reason why I came back home. I was sick and tired of sitting in my house on the weekends with nothing to do in a city that was too big to maneuver around. Well, Tampa is still home to me, and it's grown, but it's grown in beautiful ways. There's so many wonderful things to do, things along the river that weren't there when I was a kid. These beautiful water taxis. I'm gonna do a video on all like my favorite things to do in Tampa, because it's a good long list and it would keep you busy for a good week or two. Well, I hope this video was able to give you a few little key points that you hadn't thought about as you're thinking about relocating to Florida, and make those lists. I think it's a good thing. Really educate yourself before you get here. Ask a lot of questions. Reach out to people like myself. If you have agents in your life that live in Florida, reach out to them, friends, everyone. Put it out on Facebook. People love to help people. And in this town, people love to help people. So when you're here, do not be afraid to talk to the person sitting next to you at the bar, or sitting next to you in the coffee shop, or sitting next to you when you're sitting outside staring at that beautiful sunset. We are here to help you. So I hope this video has served you well today. And again, don't forget, if you have any real estate related questions, all of my links are below. I really will answer your questions and get back to you. And you can hit my calendar link as well, and we can have more one-on-one, and we'll do like a little Google Meet so that I can talk to you, and we can really narrow down some of your goals and help you with whatever real estate wise that you need. I'm here for you. And as always, it really helps me out if you'd hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. That way you know when I have new videos dropping. I've got more content coming your way really soon. And until next time, guys, I really appreciate it. Have a great one and be kind to each other. Bye.